Attack on Titan's most important character thread is the relationship between Mikasa Ackerman and Eren Yeager. A ship that has never quite gained any ground, it is one of the most synonymous pairings in all of the franchise, and for good reason. These two characters' fates are intertwined in this series from the very beginning, and with the most recent episode, people thought for sure, if just for a moment, Mikasa could say the four-letter word we've all waited so long to hear from her. So, in this video, I want to break down and explain why Mikasa couldn't confess to Eren, but before we do that, guys, we finally made it. This video is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. This month, Raid's celebrating its 3-year anniversary, and it's going to be huge. They've got an insane amount of things in store and free gifts for everyone, adding in a bunch of new content and events. We're talking about new champions, new artifact sets, and a fully personalized video showcasing every player's Raid journey and their own personal achievements. Check out some of the amazing things that have happened in the game during those 3 years, like Doom Tower. A sprawling 120 levels with new bosses and challenges for any skill range. Galore! Galore, I tell you! Next is new bosses and heroes. That's right, already a high-level collection RPG, Raid just keeps adding brand new champions with no end in sight. Then my personal favorite, Shadowkin. They are a tribe of warriors recently liberated from evil, but oh, such a twist. That doesn't mean they're the good guys either, and they're easily my favorite. Then of course, the newest and biggest addition to Raid, I'm talking about the Hydra Clan boss, which is a highly rewarding and dynamic boss where every head has a different and unique ability, giving some of the best artifacts in the game. And if that's not enough, they've got a full month of special events and tournaments with some of Raid's best prizes, including badass champions, shards, and tons of other goodies. This is without a doubt the best time to get into Raid, and if you're not playing Raid yet, hit my link in the description or scan my QR code here on the screen. You'll get a special huge birthday package worth $40. That's 3 free champions at once. Misericord, Tiger Soul, Romero, plus 10 Magic XP Brews, 10 Force XP Brews, 10 Spirit Brews. That, my friends, is huge. All this treasure will be waiting for you here. And since it's Raid's birthday, the gifts just keep coming. All new and existing players can get a bunch of free birthday gifts worth over $25. Once you're in-game after clicking on the links, just enter promo code 3YearsRaid to get your hands on everything. It's simple, and it's that easy. Just click the link in the description, and I'll see you in the game. Mikasa for most of the series has been the protector of Eren, and while that role has certainly shifted since season 3, the reality is that Mikasa is still placed within the mindset of being Eren's protector. We can go back to before Carla's death, when Eren's mother tells Mikasa to keep an eye on Eren and protect him, and at her death, most importantly, to survive. You'd have to imagine that Mikasa feels there is a great sense of duty to be Eren's protector, much like a mother to a son. It's here I realize that Carla must have been a very good mother to instill such a sense of protectiveness in the girl at such a young age. And when you consider that the Ackerman's gene Eren lied to Mikasa about isn't real, and that she just loves him enough to snap a Titan's neck, you start to realize how deeply in love she is with Eren, and how could she not be? Though it's this role of the protector that is now under attack in this season. Mikasa has to figure out her new role in Eren's life. Is she the protector of Eren, or is she his lover? That's the big crux of why Mikasa's confession failed, and is the catalyst of her anguish throughout much of season 4 so far. This is one reason why Louise was such an important character, and why I made a video about her taking Mikasa's scarf. Louise is a representation of what Mikasa is, an example that's living and breathing right in front of her eyes, and Mikasa doesn't like what the mirror is throwing back at her. Mikasa realizes she can't be the protector anymore. Though this doesn't mean that Mikasa was wrong by putting Eren as family first either. Her feelings and emotions are much more complex than just romantic love, because she is right. They are family. It's just the second part of that confession never happened because they were interrupted by a classic trope that was used in such a devilish way. No pun intended. This brings us to, well, the confession itself. After Eren slips out of the meeting with Kiyomi, Mikasa follows along and they're presented with a scene that reminds them of themselves. The people that populate the tents before them are just like those on Paradis, just like the Eldians cast out on the world stage. Eren then asks Mikasa, "What do you think of me?" Anyone watching this scene for the first time probably thinks that at the climax of the series that maybe there is hope for these two. Instead, in a scene that directly calls back to season 1, Mikasa stammers, saying they're just family. Mikasa fails to express her own feelings to Eren in as a perfect moment as you can get for a series like AOT, though I can understand why she said what she said, and I don't blame her. The reason why Mikasa's confession failed and why she can't confess is because she's been thrust into a position where her roles as protector and a lover to Eren are sort of clashing, making her future uncertain and confusing. So now without a role in Eren's life, what is she? She isn't a protector any longer. She considers Eren her family. So what's missing? Well, this is what the climax of Mikasa's character is building to. Her self-discovery as a person. For so long, Mikasa has existed to protect, but now she has to confront what she wants for herself. And just what is that? Well, you can get an idea by simply analyzing Mikasa's behavior this season. Mikasa really has had 3 stages as a character in Attack on Titan thus far. The first being her as a child before her Ackerman instincts activated. This Mikasa was much happier, seemed pretty calm, and was just a regular happy child. Then after her Ackerman instincts activated, her teen years came a regression in her personality. She became more emotionally withdrawn, only ever showing extreme expressions of emotions like anger or fear. This is the Mikasa most people associate with her character, but she isn't static, because after this point, in the final season, Mikasa actually starts to express more ranges of emotions like sadness or uncertainty. This directly correlates to what I've stated previously. Mikasa, now not in the role of protector, is confronting the reality of who she is without Eren playing a major role in her life. She now has to figure out what kind of woman she is without him, because she's been dedicated to him for so long now, to the point where she'd threaten to fight and possibly kill her own comrades if his safety was threatened. But all of that has changed. Eren said he doesn't need her anymore. So, what's next? Well, it's sorta simple, though I think there was a lot of detail to get to that conclusion. So, come on a ride with me through a town called Symbolism. So I want to make sure to mention this because I do think it's really important, as symbolism is a big part of Attack on Titan. In this episode, I think there's something here that went a little bit unnoticed. For one, when they're at the top of the hill, Eren is wearing black and Mikasa is wearing white. I forgive you for not noticing this at first, but this is the exact same colors 2 people getting married would wear at a traditional wedding. And then you realize that, it just starts to get your head racing. Does this symbolize that Eren and Mikasa are destined to be tied together forever in a holy matrimony, much like how Mikasa's scarf is a reference to the famous red string of fate found in Japanese and other Asian cultures? Or does this symbolize they're doomed, as instead of the word I do, Mikasa, by saying family, has ruined what could have been the moment she could have gotten closer to Eren with? Though an important side of this I don't see often discussed is just what was Eren looking to find out of this question that he asked her anyways. Does Eren love Mikasa? I find 2 of these points quite strange because ultimately they lead me to a third point which kind of blows me away here. Eren asked her what she thinks of him, though it's never ultimately stated what Eren thinks of Mikasa. I believe this was left intentionally unanswered because Eren didn't get the answer he maybe was looking for. I mean, think of it this way. If you like a person and you ask them this question and they say you're just friends, but you like that person, well, you're not going to confess. You got your answer. So the question, does Eren love Mikasa? Well, analyzing 2 points, one from this episode and one from the episode where he lies to Mikasa about the Ackerman gene, I think the answer is left incredibly vague for good reasons, though let's break it down. We know Eren lied to Armin about him liking Annie because of Bertolt. Now, I can do a whole video on this about why Annie likes Armin, but Annie liking Armin was actually subtly implied in many scenes in Season 1. As well, the same is implied a lot in the final season and Season 1 through Armin Ackerman's feelings because they seem to be mutual. But once again, it's subtle. Eren simply took a truth to propagate a lie, which is inheriting memories of the previous Titan shifter. For Mikasa, he lied about the Ackerman gene by using previous Ackerman's loyalty as a way to suggest they're genetically altered or unique people that imprint upon others, becoming, as Eren puts it, a slave. But as Zeke points out, this is not true, and she just loves him that much. And honestly, how touching. I gotta find a gal like that. So does Eren love Mikasa? Well, we're not sure if it's just familiar or not, as he absolutely loves her, at least in the same sense that Armin loves Eren and Mikasa himself. But you know, Eren wrapped the scarf around her to keep her warm, willed her on to fight, dedicated his life to making sure Mikasa would be protected. Eren pretty much, yeah, I think he does absolutely love the woman, at least in the first 3 seasons. And this is where you have to kind of get into how he's acted in the final season. I believe Eren absolutely does not hate her in the final season because of the lies he told them about the Ackerman gene and Armin's love for Annie. So I do think he loves her. It's just, why lie in the first place? This is something only Eren knows, and with his ability to see the future and past events and all that yada yada, there is more than meets the eye with this situation. Just for fun though, I'd like to now discuss what may have happened if Mikasa had confessed to Eren. What would change? What would remain the same? It's something I've had many people ask me to do, so I'll do it here in this video for you guys. If Mikasa confessed to Eren right then and there, I don't think much would change, honestly. While I think most people into Mikasa would drop their entire life for this girl if she were real, in the world of Attack on Titan, her confessing probably won't hold much merit when it comes to at least Eren's actions on the world stage by activating the rumbling, as Eren getting a girlfriend won't stop the rumbling, though won't stop the rumbling in their bed, heyo! Anyways, besides that, I think Mikasa confessing would take a huge portion of the drama away, actually, from Attack on Titan's final season. By confessing here, she simply stops progressing as a character pretty much, as it's set up in the last handful of episodes that Mikasa may not be able to kill Eren, which is a huge point of conflict for herself and others, but as well stops this anguished version of Mikasa we've had a treat of seeing in this season. She'd just be regular old withdrawn stoic Mikasa, and as evident with the final season, that's just not the way Isayama wanted these characters to be portrayed, so she would kinda stick out like a sore thumb. Mikasa's character, no matter really what others say, isn't about protecting Eren. Mikasa also is not a static character despite her withdrawn demeanor either. But Mikasa does need to be the one to step out of the shadow and be the one to lead the way of her own life. She doesn't need to dedicate herself to Eren Yeager any longer, as much as she needs to just make her own decisions. Currently, Mikasa is stuck in this cycle of constantly not knowing what to do. She wants to protect Eren, but Eren is the enemy. She wants to be with Eren, but Eren rejected her. She wants to have a happy family with Eren, but their family was destroyed and soon will be completely, as all Titan shifters have an expiration date. That 4-letter word, love. It can be freedom for so many, but for Mikasa, it's a prison. And now it's time for her to break free from the cold grasp Eren has over her heart. Whatever happens to Mikasa in the end, one thing could be certain, and that's, for a woman who can be so withdrawn, she is filled with so many different emotions and feelings for a man that she cannot have. If you enjoyed this video, then be sure to check out my video on why Louise took Mikasa's scarf, which is paramount to Mikasa's character. I'll see you guys over there.